Hey sports fans, Greg Medford, Medford Knife, MKT USA, what's going on? So, let's see, what's going on today? I'm just going to take some notes here so I don't miss anything. We got clones from China. We got a guy, an eBay guy. We got, what else do we have? I thought there was something else too in my response. So I'll see if a couple of guys hop on here to say hi, and then I'll tell you what happened. Because I started out with my normal terse language, and then hey David, and then it went all like, it kind of went nastygram really fast when the guy told me to mind my own business. An American selling clones was contacted by the manufacturer of the original, and the guy said, mind your own business. I have to sometimes chew on the irony of, I have to take time out of my day to go on eBay because guys are listing our knives, and some not so honestly and others honestly, but they are listing stolen proprietary information from my company and selling it for $1. And then they're telling me I have to mind my business. To which I said, I am minding my business. And then I said, you're a fucking thief. And then he said something else, and then I dropped the C word. Now, I like to think of myself as kind of a globalist. Joshua, welcome. It's getting ready to get a little R-rated around here. So if there's any children around, sensitive, Kavanaugh haters, people who don't believe in facts, or little gentle little bunny rabbit, pitter-patter heart, little lefties, you might want to back off because your phone is going to warm up a little bit here. Okay, let me talk about this first. There's something going on, you guys, and I don't know if you've noticed it. If you've noticed it, there's a disturbance in the force. And here's the disturbance. This disturbance is clones from China. Now, Trump's got his trade war spooling up with China. And I think they're going to lose. Because Trump started spooling up his trade war with Europe. And they started to buckle. And it's funny. He who has the most to lose usually buckles first. And Germany started to buckle. And they're all going to buckle. He's going to get them all in line. And then Trump, he said, well, this thing in Canada's not right. And then that little homo they've got running the country up there in Canada, that little emasculated femtard that's running Canada, he's now buckled. And now, after Trump said, oh, you don't want to do business with us? We'll do business with Mexico. Then they buckled. And then Canada buckled. And now it's all coming together, and you can start to see a bit of a master plan, and I think we're going to see a change in monetary negotiation and trade negotiation for the next 50 years because of Trump. Now, what's going on with China is a tougher nut to crack, and I think it's going to happen. But what's going on, it's funny, I talked to somebody yesterday who's been in the business a long time, and they said, the knives are, what's going on, these knives, they're illegal to bring in the United States. So they're being made in China. They're being made in a lot of the same factories you guys buy all of your knives from, or friends buying your Asian-made knives are made in. Then China hasn't already given in to all the tariffs. China already gave in to oil tariffs. China hasn't given in to anything. PJ. So what they're doing is they're making all of this stuff in China that's illegal to bring in the United States. It's illegally labeled and marked. They're, I guess, taking it to Hong Kong. I knew about Vancouver, but they're bringing it through other places that don't care about American trade names and trade protection. And then they're bringing them into these allied regions of ours. Hong Kong used to be a British protectorate. It was released over to the Chinese some years ago, but it still has some trade relationship. So stuff's apparently allowed to go into Hong Kong and clear customs in Hong Kong. Then it leaves Hong Kong for the United States, and it's already duty-free. It's done. So there's stuff coming in that way. I know there's stuff coming through Vancouver as well. You know, this was all well and good when you had United Cutlery and other people having stuff made in Taiwan and in Japan, because they're our allies and they're honest brokers and they're good nations. They're responsible. What's going on with China is completely different. So, do the Chinese have a right to compete with us? Theoretically, yes, they absolutely do. Are the Chinese evil in their hearts? Yes, they absolutely are. No, they're not evil. They don't get it. They don't speak our language. They don't understand the humans behind all of this stuff we make. And the Chinese economy, although it's starting to develop some stuff of its own, for the most part, it exists on the wholesale theft of intellectual property from Europe and the United States. They're saying, I read a report that said there may be 30 to 50,000 Chinese spies posing as college students and researchers here in the United States. So, I don't know what's going on. All I know is something's not right, and Republicans and Democrats have let the fox into the hen house. And they're going to decimate the knife world. And we're starting to see little hints of it already. And we have to be careful because we've made this really cool little industry here in the United States. And I'm, quite frankly, I'm an ingenue to it. I've been in it less than 10 years. But we've made this really cool business that can be connected to a human being and a product and values. And as the end consumer, it's so hard to find those connections with the businesses that you do spend your money with. And so to be able to either tell Greg Medford to pound sand or I like your politics, I'm going to support you, that's a unique thing. It's a unique space. And, it's to be able to say, I like Ramon, so I'm going to buy Chavi's knives. That's very cool. To be able to say, I like Mick Strider or I don't like Mick Strider, whatever. Or Greg, I hate Greg's guts. I'm not buying his stuff anymore. It's what's really cool about this industry. It's so personal. There's so much touch to it. These little drawings that are little kind of sculptures or art pieces that get personalized, and these guys covet them and pay good money for them. And there's this really interesting little connection there. This, when you hold a knife that one of us made, you feel my hands in your hand. You feel what I felt. Because every knife that you guys get your hands on, I've taken that knife and I've done this. I said, how does it feel? It's good. Oh, no, go back. Something's funny here. And so I love touching tools from the past or holding an old weapon from the past, because you can feel what that person, like if you ever get the chance to hold a historical pistol, rifle, or sword, it's pretty amazing. Or to get your hands on a knife that killed people in the war and you know it, it's documented. I had those opportunities a couple times in my life. Those are weird moments. They're surreal moments because that touch, transcends time for a moment. You connect with another human being in a really powerful way. These little talismans of humanity that we make, you guys know that. You get that. You guys are soulful who are into this stuff. There's something inexplicably touching about cutlery. Whether you like my stuff or somebody else, it doesn't even matter, but there's something beautiful about them. And when they become the level of factory perfect identical, it loses that humanity. Every one of my knives, if you measure them, they're all a little different. Every single one. The tolerance between the parts are all perfect. But the thicknesses and the edges and the chamfers and the bevels and the widths and the panel heights and the back, all completely different. No two are alike. So, what we have is a knife industry with a couple of main shows. We've got Steve Shackelford, who's been a backbone of the industry and he's a godfather of the knife business, right? He's a consigliere. You got Greg Medford, who's been in the business 10 years. And you got Steve Shackelford, who's been around forever. You got the Knife Guild. You got the big knife-making companies we all know the names of. And we have them inviting these Asian companies these Chinese companies in particular, to our forums where we test our wares with the public and we put a face and a handshake to the product and we connect. And now We is there, and now Kaiser is there, and now Riat is there. And there's a problem because they're people and they have a right to make stuff and they should sell it over there. And I'm cool with them polluting their land and hurting their people and just being an awful place to be. I'm comfortable with them doing that there. I'm not comfortable with them coming here. I'm not comfortable with their nudge, nudge, wink, wink tolerance of their own. You know, the knives are all made in a little town over there. They all know each other. They know who's making all the clones. Or at midnight, all of the shops over there just make clones from midnight to 6. Because they're all owned by the government. Hey, John. So, in the grand scheme of things, what's going on is the Chinese government, which owns and directs these companies, is giving them the directive that it's okay to break all these international standards. So they're cheating in the marketplace of ideas. What they do is they build a little software thing to look and see how many people look for a Medford Praetorian. They say, oh, it's this many people, and they go, oh, that met the number. Let's make a bunch of copies. And they just get some pictures of my knives and make copies. Or they go to shows and buy them and make copies. Or they buy them off eBay and they make copies. So here's what's going on. They're stealing our souls from us, and we're letting them. Now, I expect this out of the Chinese. Because if the grain crop was a little slow, they'd be just as happy to eat each other over there. If you're Chinese American, I'm sorry, but there's a reason you haven't immigrated back to the motherland. Fuck China. Alright, so there's my 2 cents on China, and I have a lot more. But I digress. Let me talk to you about my attack. My attack is I'm trying to thwart the guys here in the United States. Believe it or not, there are my fellow Americans who are buying these knockoff ripoffs that have my name on the side of them. They have my logo on the side of them. You've seen me do videos. I'm going to grab a couple right now. I just got another one in yesterday. This one came in from Amazon. This is the box that it came in with a little lion head. I'm sorry, it's backwards. It's got a little lion head and it says knives with this lion on it. And I don't even know what they're calling this thing. Here's the knife. It is awful. This is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. It is absolutely awful. I can't even show you how awful it is, how much it doesn't make sense. This knife is it's blade-tarded. It's we-tarded. Look, I don't know if we's making knockoffs. I'm not going to say one way or the other, but I'll let them fucking Chinamen come sue me if they want. Here's my opinion. If you're an American and you're selling this stuff to make money, you're stealing from me. I just found out about some Microtechs, and I don't know Anthony Marfione's line at all, but I know that he had a Microtech that they're copying that's so good. It's so good that the guy holding it, who's a dealer, said, I thought it was the same. It may be better. It's fantastic. I can't believe it. And it's marked Microtech. And, you know, they're making these knives. They are stealing our cool little gig. And I don't just mean Greg Medford's gig. And there's plenty of stuff I can do. They're stealing our whole hobby, our whole community. And our community's letting it happen. You know, the knife shows, they're letting these people come get credibility by being there. And this is the naivete of the liberal, and when I say liberal, I don't mean the libtard, dumb fuck California version of liberal. I mean, or New York version, whatever, the libtarded. I mean classical liberal, open, free society. I am a classical liberal that believes in financial independence and personal responsibility. And we're letting our liberal John Locke, Hobbes philosophy of open, free competition blind us to the siege that has been taking place. Now, what they've done is they ruin every industry that they touch. As soon as they find an industry making money, they ruin it. They did it to electric drills. They're doing it to optics. They're doing it to everything they touch. They ruin it. Why? Soul. Because what if I got up as a stand-up comedian and I did Jerry Seinfeld's routine? What would you guys think of me? Well, there's guys out there who think that selling all of this stuff is righteous, and what they don't understand is they're fencing in stolen property. It's intellectual property, and it's real. This guy, Tim, I'm going to out him. I hope you guys reach out to him on eBay. Now, I called him a cunt and told him to fuck off, and I told him I look forward to seeing him face to face. I believe I said, "Hey, Mr. Anonymous, you mouthy cunt." Well, actually, I said, this is an illegal product in the United States. My brand and trade dress are all being illegally copied. These knives are under investigation with the State Department, like many clones, which is true. I'm reporting you to eBay for selling illegal merchandise. Please remove immediately. Actually, I just said remove immediately. Greg Medford, President, Medford Knife. Seems fair. Well, it's a little succinct. It's a little ebuyknifestore. ebuyknifestore. ebuyknifestore at eBay. It says, mind your own business. He told me to mind my own business when Greg Medford from Medford Knife and Tool is calling a guy out for selling a $299 bullshit piece of crap rip-off clone with my name on the side. That actually is my business. The fucking unmitigated call this little cocksucker. Anyway, I said, this is my business, you fucking thief. Classic Greg dialogue. He says, well, I'm making it my business, and it's called free enterprise, you little wimp. And I said, and then to which I said, hey, Mr. Anonymous, you mouthy cunt. I look forward to meeting you personally. My name's Greg Medford. My phone number's 480-227-2399. We'll see how fucking slick you talk when I'm face to face with you. Small world. Seems friendly. In the whole world of someone stealing from you, fucking your wife, or having copping a feel on one of your kids, it seems kind of friendly. That dick on eBay was using your website picture. I scammed down there years ago. The clones are getting better. Order direct is the only way to go. Here's what's funny. These clones are shit, and this guy's a fucking scumbag. Hey, Mr. Medford, you little bald-headed wimp. He thinks he's getting to me with this shit. I put you on my blocked bidders list. Like I'm gonna fucking buy from this retard. And when you can learn to be a more polite knife maker, I may just take you off that list. Well, golly, I'm just hanging on. I'm hanging on with bated breath by my fingernails so that I can buy cheap junk off your shit eBay site. Oh, and while I'm at it, tell that skinny little wife of yours, Amy, to fix her hair nicer for any upcoming new YouTube videos. As her hair is a mess with just about every video you guys upload to YouTube, and it's very unrepresentable to say the least. It goes on. Oh yeah, and do you want me to make you and send you an offer on a beautiful Chinese Praetorian knife? I have for sale on eBay. She's a beauty, but remember, you're on block bidders list for now anyways. And that's Tim at ebuyknifestore on eBay. So if the Medford militia is out there, and if you guys want to do anything, because we do some stuff, we try to do some charity things, we try to do some fun stuff. If you want to be in the Medford militia and you want to move the needle a little bit in the world, let these people know that they're scumbags and thieves. Let them know. I expect Russians to fuck with our elections. I expect the Chinese to come after us. I think they're soulless scum. And the Russians, they're doing what Russians do. I, however, am an American. I have a different moral code. I'm from the southwestern part down here, from the out from the country. I'm not from up in Washington, New York way. Just because I speak with a folksy American charm doesn't mean I'm a dummy. The people in Washington have abdicated their responsibility at every turn, and here's no different example. What's coming, you guys, is going to be awful. What's coming is either going to be the absolute decimation of the knife business as we know it, or there's going to be a subculture clique within it. What they're doing, though, whether you like me or not, I'm right about this, and you probably know it in your heart, even if you're a liberal. Whether you like me or not, you probably would bet on me sticking up for you over just about anybody. Because I'm passionate, I weigh both sides, and I make my mind up, and I open my mouth and make my opinion known. It's my vote. I hope you guys will support us. I hope you guys will support us in this battle. And the battle is not just for, it's not Greg Medford's Knife Company. The battle is for the soul of America. The battle is, how do we stop a never-ending search for a cheaper thing? I'll quote Gordon Ramsay. He said, "It should not be the goal of the holidays to fill your bellies with as much food as you can. It should be the goal of the holidays in food should be to fill your mouth with the best tastes and the most richness of holiday cooking." And I heard that. I started to think differently about food. I started to think differently about life a little bit. It was a little thing. The little needles that move the world. So at ebuyknife, what is it called? I wrote it up in the whatchamacallit, in the doobly-doo. I hope you guys reach out to the dude. I hope you go to as many of his products as you can and flag them as being flag them any way you can. I say harass this guy. I'm going to bring it up once a week. Let's harass this dude. And let's see what happens. Can I get Chris Reeve knives, Spartan knives? Can I get Hinderer knives? Can I get, I know I'm forgetting some folks in there. Can I get my friends in the knife business to step up and form a coalition of red, white, and blue? I'm one of those guys. I can't help it. Grab me by the shoulders, set me down like a claymore mine, and point me towards the bad guys. And I can't help myself. I'm like a greyhound dog going for a rabbit. I can't help myself. Stop by MedfordKnife.com. Check out our new t-shirts that we're posting up. They'll go live today or tomorrow. They're on our Facebook page. I hope you guys see them. I hope you give this Tim Shitheel a hard time. The guy trying to goad me, he doesn't get under my skin. He's a fucking whelp. Anybody who's acting like that is a fucking whelp. Quite frankly, they're beneath me. And I don't think I'm better than anybody. And that dude's beneath me. That dude's a whale turd. So I'm not too worked up about it. But my advice to you all is, if you like this community and you love this we've got a little small town that spreads across America around knives. If you like it, protect it. And go after this guy on eBay. When you see the clones, call them out big time, flag it, complain. And it's to the point where we need to actually rattle our sabers. We need to bang them across the shins with our sabers and make it harder for them to do business with it. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to stop doing business with anybody that's doing Chinese business. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but it's coming. You know, I want to support Taiwan and I want to support South Korea, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. What can I do? What can I do to help them battle? Because they're a huge bone of contention with China. I'm literally like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, Sun Tzu is ringing in my head. So what can I do to prop up Taiwan a little bit? What can I do to prop up South Korea a little bit? And, it's like the Alice's Restaurant, man. You want to start a movement. I want to get people pushing and pushing and pushing with their money, which is your dollar is probably your last true vote. You only have 2 votes left in life. The click, the touch, right? And your dollar. Let's make them count. So go after this guy who's selling knockoffs. He's selling a knife that he probably is buying for $15 to $18 through Alibaba. He's selling it for $2.99. He's an opportunistic scumbag who knows he's selling knockoff clone. He's just the same as the ex-con standing on the corner in New York City with a trench coat on with stolen or fake watches down the inside of his jacket. Nick Shabazz, if you're out there, I hope you decide, do the American thing and stop giving any credence of any kind to anything Chinese, Asian, Riyadh, Kaiser, to any of them. These people are not our friends. These good Chinese companies, you know what they're like? And I'm going to sign off on this. They're like a dude who at midnight rapes people in your neighborhood, and during the day, he mows the lawn and waves at you when you drive by. That's the Chinese knife business. The Chinese knife business is a rape of the American way of life. It's a rape of the American intellectual approach to the free market. It's raping it. Trump sees it. He's doing something about it, whether you like him or not. Our other politicians have done nothing about it. It's like the son of Sam. They are the son of Sam. You think they're good, because there's a few of them that are good, but their factories are all tied together. Their influence is all tied together. Troy, I make a lot of knives that are $275. I make a bunch of knives that are $375, and I make some $425. So we're not in the stratosphere. We got a lot of really cool knives. I don't have one of the inexpensive ones just sitting here. But they're out there. You can get them. You can also buy a used one. You really can. You just got to have some due diligence and get a right of return from the guy. Save up. Okay, that's it. I'm probably boring you guys at this point. That's my soapbox for the day. I hope that you guys go out. If you want to be in the Medford militia, that is the way to do it. Get out there and shut this shit down. And if you see Microtech knockoffs, go after those sons of bitches too. All right? So the issue with eBay is that as long as you list it accurately, then eBay will side with him every time. Doesn't matter if it's a $1.98 knife and it falls apart the day after you take it. Bob, that's not necessarily true. If you post it for infringement and trademarked items, and they now have a phrase there for circumventing trademark with phrasing. It actually says that. All you have to do is click on that. All right. Hey, for dinner, I can't believe you're asking me, Brandon, what's for dinner later? We're going to do grilling with Greg, and I'm going to cook some more steaks tonight because it's Tuesday, it's steak night. I'm out!